Good afternoon all. Myself Dr. Ramdas Pandre, working as Associate Professor and Head Department of Pharmacology at MES College of Pharmacy, Sonai. Today we'll discuss related to the Nuremberg Code, a historical context. What is this Nuremberg Code and what are that prior history record before existence of the actual clinical guidelines? So just we'll see one picture. That picture will give you idea regarding that how medical testing has turned millions of us into a guinea pig. That world famous Time magazine then mentioned that nowadays most of the clinical treatment or medical treatment, they are using humans as an guinea pig. That book introduced in 1945, that first edition, and second edition revised in 1973. That book mentioned the story of experiments during the World War First and Second to discover the cause of scabies and how the disease can be overcome. It mentioned that brutal experiment performed by the investigator on the healthy human volunteer. And this book, Human Guinea Pigs, it is written by Kenneth Melby, and this is the major milestone for the existence of Nuremberg Code. Particularly, it is based on the Nazi experiments. Just we'll deal with what are the learning objectives behind this Nuremberg Code. This Nuremberg Code is the prior history record that describes the difference between medical treatment and medical research, compare and contrast the role of physician in treatment as well as to that of the investigator. It describes how that Nazi physicians, they are treating the prisoners as well as healthy human volunteers. Similarly, it describes the experiments conducted by that army physicians on the prisoners in the Nazi military camp. It describes the major steps in the formulation of Nuremberg Code. We'll again discuss related to the responsibility of the principal investigator while performing any experiment related to the human subject. Just we'll see the timeline of human subject research and its protection. When it came to existence that well-being as well as safety of human subjects should be protected. The initial movement, usually in the 19th century, that you can say that eugenics. What that eugenics means? The eugenics is the science of racial improvement through control of hereditary factors. And the same concept initially followed in US and Europe under the guidelines racial hygiene. The concept of eugenics introduced in Germany under the sterilization laws. Again in 1935 in Germany there is existence of one law that is considered as Nuremberg law, which prohibits the intermarriage between the Jews and non-Jews. And in 1939 there is another concept, that euthanasia. This euthanasia mentions that incurably sick by medical examination, gaseous residents of mental institution, similarly develop the methods used in the concentration camps. That means all these methods, they are related to the prisoners, they are related to the healthy volunteers. Without being there aware, experiments are conducted on them. Next to the eugenic movement, that majority of incidents happened during the World War First and Second. That means particular period of 1930s to 1945. In that period, one major experiment, you can see this Joseph Mengel's twin studies. During that study, that twin selected for the control studies, one twin is given an infectious agent that causes the typhoid fever, particularly inoculation of the Salmonella typhi. At the time of that control as well as deceased twin, they left untreated. And at the time of death of the deceased twin, both control as well as deceased twin, they are sacrificed. That control twin, it is sacrificed by the way of injection of phenol, and both been autopsied for their morphological changes in their organs and system. Next experiment, which is the Pathfinder that Dachau studies, which is usually done for the benefit of the German Air Force. During that study, they are investigating the limits of human endurance at extremely high altitude, and the studies oftenly resulted in the death of that particular person. That means you can see that is the low pressure chamber, in that they are keeping the healthy human volunteers with observation of how long it will be, he or she will be live. The next experiment is, that is experiment conducted to investigate the most effective means of treating persons who had been severely chilled or frozen, and the subject forced to remain in a tank of ice or water, and often the subjects, they resulted in a death. So these are the particularly movements in the period of 1930 to 45. After that, for these all incidents, the regulatory agencies, particularly European nations, they charge on the Nazi doctors for the conduction of such types of studies. Among that 23 defendants, that military tribunal, and they find charge with 4 counts mentioning that conspiracy, war crimes, crimes against humanity, and membership in a criminal camps. And all these incidents that lead to the introduction of one set of guidelines for the conduction of clinical research, particularly in the Germany. And that is, you are considering that Nuremberg Code, which came into existence in 1947. This Nuremberg Code, it based on 10 basic principles. This is the first ethical guidelines for the conduction of clinical trials all over the world. And these 10 principles, they are modified as per the regulatory requirements of the country. You can say that for the purpose of European nations as well as US, UK, there is Declaration of Helsinki is considered as one of the ethical guidelines. For the purpose of India, we are following the regulation given by Central Drug Standard Control Organization. Similarly, for the purpose of Germany, that is Nuremberg Code. The 10 basic principles, that including first one, the voluntary consent of human subject is absolutely essential. There must be prior participation consent of individual in order to get participate in a clinical study or trial. That second principle that mentions the experiment should yield fruitful results for the good of society, unprocurable by the other methods. That means ultimate aim of the experiment should be fruitful. There should not be any risk, injury to the subject which are involved in the experimentation. The third principle mentions the experiment should be designed and based on the results of animal experimentation and a knowledge of the natural history of the disease. That means while performing the human experimentation, there should be prior investigated record of animal experimentation that depicting the effectiveness as well as safety data. Fourth principle that mentioned experiment conducted to avoid all unnecessary physical and mental suffering and injury. The major aim of the experimentation, there should not be any physical as well as mental injury to the subject involved in the clinical study. Next principle that mentions no experiment where there is a priori reason to believe death or disabling injury will occur. No any human subject should be treated or should be administered a treatment which is associated with the occurrence of any unforeseeable injury or death of the subject. Next principle that mentions the degree of risk should never exceed humanitarian importance of problem. Next one, that proper preparation facilities to protect the subject against even the remote possibility of injury, disability or death. Wherever there are chances of risk, there should be proper operating procedure in order to protect the health, safety and well-being of the human subject. Next principle that mentions experiment should be conducted by scientifically competent person. He or she should be qualified for the procedures. Subject has the right to bring experimentation to an end at any time. It's the right of the healthy volunteer or subject to end the experimentation or procedure at any time. And the last principle is that the scientist in charge must be prepared to end the experiment at any time. As per the need of the patient, the scientist in charge, or you may say that investigator, he should be prepared for the end of experiment at any stage of the study. So these are the some 10 basic principles of Nuremberg Code, and this is the first set of ethical guidelines for the conduction of clinical trial in Germany. And this is the milestone for the formulation of ethical guidelines for the conduction of clinical trials for all the nations. After this Nuremberg Code, there is introduction of just Declaration of Helsinki in 1964. After that point of view of India, you can consider introduction of ICH GCP in 1997. So this is just related to the historical context of Nuremberg Code. Hope you all have understood the concept of Nuremberg Code. Thank you.